welcome to the Python tutorial series. My name is Daniel Lari, and today I'll discuss about a few methods which are very much useful in Python programming. One is map, second one is filter, and third one is reduce. So before using these functions in your application, two things are very much required that you should know, and I have already discussed in the previous tutorial. One is your higher order function, and second one is your lambda expression, lambda function, anonymous function. So if you have done the practice with those things, then this function will be useful. This function will give you immense use of in Python application. So first of all, understand that what is the map function. So map is a built-in function and it is higher order function. Why? The built-in function map takes a function as a first argument. So as I have already explained in the previous tutorial, that if any function takes a function as argument, then that function is higher order function. So map is higher order function that will take first argument as function and applies it to each of the element of its second argument, that is iterable object. So this is the syntax map, and here you will write your function function name that you want to apply on every element of the iterable object, and after performing the whole operation it will return the object of the map type. So let's see with the example. So first of all, we have to create one iterable object. So that can be your list, set, tuple, and string. So I'm just taking the example of the list. Suppose I have a list that contains some string value, and these are my uh, so I will try to make it simple and keep it simple, because maybe you can have a number of the element, number of the values. So I'm just taking only 3 values into my list. The task is I want to convert all the string that is inside my list into integer. As we can see here, that every string is a combination of only digits, so we can convert it into int. So how to do this? By using the conventional way. By using conventional way, what you will write like first of all you will create a function that is for example def, and function is convert, and I'm writing convert int and x. So if I pass any value that is x, it will convert and return that value. So how this will be converted? So I will write int, and here I will pass into x. So as you can see, the int is built-in function. I have already explained. So it will convert into int and it will return the value. Now I'm going to pass every value from this list to this function, and I'll get the converted value. So how to pass every value? First of all, I will write for items in my list. Okay, and from here I will call the function that is convert int, and I'll pass every item that is from my list, and it will return that value. So what will I do? I will create a result list that is empty, and I will update the result every time. So how to update? That is by using append method. We have already learned in the previous tutorial. This is the append method. After that, when this operation will be finished, then we can see the output. So let's see. Result is equal. Just look at this. So that this is 12, 34, and 45. So this is the conventional way that we use generally in programming. So we can do the same thing by using the map function. So map function, first of all, accept the function and iterable object. So how to do this by the map function? Just look at here and how it will make simple in application. So for example, if I write result is equal, and first of all I will write map, and here I will pass first argument I will pass the function. So the function that is performing the operation name is convert int. Only write the function name, don't write the parentheses and argument, all that. And the list on which I want to perform the operation, so that list is my list. So this function map will produce the output that will be type of map. Let me comment this so it will make more clear. So now this the whole syntax, the whole statement has been comment out. Now if I print this, then you can see here that we are getting the map object. Okay, So to get the value into the iterable, then I need to convert into the list set. So I am going to convert into the list. Look at the output. So we are getting the same output. Just compare the previous version of the code and a new version of the code. So I think this looks smart. This looks simple in coding. So if you are using the Python, so do the things smartly. One more thing important, if you are using the map function, it reduces the time complexity of your program also. So if you have bunch of data and if you want to execute your program very fast, then we should use these kind of the function that is already defined by the Python programmers. So I'm using this one. So as you can see here, we are converting the value by using convertInt. As you can see here, this function contains only one statement inside it. So we can convert this function into lambda expression also. So how to do this? Just look at here. At the place of this function name, I can write the lambda and one variable, and after that colon, and here what I want to perform with x. So I want to convert this into integer. Okay, so this is your anonymous function. It will accept every element from the my list and convert into the particular integer, and after that it will return the value. So let me comment out this function. Okay, so I have comment out this function, and now I am passing only the lambda expression. So just look at here. So now you can see that we are getting the same output. So isn't it, it looks good, and isn't it fine that we can use the lambda expression in any function? So yes, lambda function is very much useful in that kind of situation where you are using, where you are applying only a few things on a particular bunch of data. Another thing that we can do, let's do some more practice with this map function. For example, if I have a list of a string, okay, list of string values. For example, list of string values means, for example, I have some name here. So one is Daniel, and second one is, for example, okay, Hassan, and third one is, okay, Larry. So the requirement is I want to get the length of every string from my list. So how to do this by using the conventional way? So what will I do? I will write a function that will accept every element, and after that it will convert or it will get the length of that object, and after that it will return it. So I will write the method get len. Okay, so I can do this. I will pass the function here. Just look at this statement length, and every element will be passed into int, and after that it will generate the length and will get the result, and after that it will convert into the list. Look at the output. And you can see first string length is 7, second is 5, and third one is the 4. So yes, we can use the this kind of coding also. And suppose if you don't want to use this one, then I can use the lambda function also. So I can write the lambda, and here I can write x, and what I want to do with x, I want to get the length of this x. Okay, so just let me comment out this one, and let's see the same output. Okay, so I hope the lambda function and the higher order function and passing function to a function is now going to be clear to all of you. If you don't know that how to pass a function and what is the higher order function and lambda expressions, just go and watch the previous videos, then it will be more clear. Okay, so let's do some more practice with the map function. Okay, now a map function can accept function as well as the iterable objects. Yes, fine. So we can pass more than one iterable objects also. So for example, if I have one list that contain values like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I have my list 2, another iterable. Let me paste, and this is your 2, and it has some element like 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. This is my second list. So what I'm going to do, I want to perform the operation like first list first value should be add to the second list first value. After that, first list second value should be add to second list second value, and so on. And after that, I should get the value of addition of all the elements. So how can I do this? Just look at here. I'm not going to write the traditional way of the function. I'm going to use the lambda. So what will I do? Let me delete this one. This will make code clear. I will create two variable because one will be for this, that is x, and second will be your y for this. And after that, I'll perform the operation x plus y. Okay. And here I will pass two lists, my list 1 and my list 2. Let's see. This is going to be okay. Mistake, that is plus is not type. Okay. As you can see, 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55. So this is the lambdas and the map beauty that you can use in your applications. So I hope the map function is clear to all of you. Just do the practice. It looks simple, but when you go and do the practice, so you will get error, then after that you will remove, and after that you will be confident. Okay, so I hope the map function is clear. Still, if you have doubt, then you can put your queries into the comment box and I'll give you the answer. Next method that I want to discuss is called the filter. As the name suggests, filter means we want to filter some values from the group of elements. So as you can see, it is also higher order function. Why? Because it also accepts a function and one iterable object. So this iterable objects, every element, this function will apply on every element of this iterable object. So let's see that how to use the filter. But one thing you need to remember, that filter will work only and only if your expression returns either true or false. Make sure that your expression, your function returns either true or false. If your function returns true, then it will fetch the value, and if that function returns false, then it will leave that particular value from your iterable object. So what is mean by this? Look at here, this is my list and I have some random values. For example, let me write, so this is my some random number. Okay, what I want to do, I have a very large number of the elements in my list, and I want to perform that filter and give me the only those values which are greater than 5. Okay, so the traditional way, what will I do? I will write a function, and I will write a function like greater 5, and here I will pass every value, that is x, and return x is greater than 5. So if your value is greater than 5, then it will be returned true, otherwise it will return false. So it will apply on every element of this list, and if that satisfies, then it will fetch that value and it will pass to our result. So how to write this? Just look at here. I will use the filter, and here I will pass the function that is greater, let me copy this, greater 5. Okay, and on which list I want to apply? I want to apply on this my list. Okay, since this will also return a filter type of object. Look at here. Okay, so I need to convert into a particular iterable, so I will write list, convert into the list. Let me convert, and then we'll see the output. Just look at here, we are getting only those elements which are greater than 5. Okay, 4 is not included. Okay, only, okay, the group of elements, the number will be yours, the data will be yours. So 4, as you can see, is not a part of this. So let me write something, 1 comma 2 3 and 6 7 8. Okay, and let me execute that. You can see only 46, 7 and 8 is the output. So filter will apply on every element and it will return the values. You can do this by using the lambda expression also. How to do this? Just look at here. I'm writing lambda expression. So lambda and x, and here I will write x is greater than 5. Just simple. So if x is greater than 5, then it will return the value. Otherwise, it will return. It will not return, and we'll get the output. As you can see here, we are getting the same output by using the lambda function. So I hope this lambda function and a filter is also clear. Let's do some more practice. Suppose you have a list of a string, for example, A is a ABC, and another string is, for example, madam, and the second one is a refer, third one is XYZ. Okay. Requirement is you have a very huge number of data in which you need to find out which one is palindrome string in my data. So you can apply the filter. Okay. So how to do this? Here, get I'm writing palindrome. Okay. So I'll pass every element to this function, and if that value is equal to the reverse of the string. Palindrome means if you reverse a string and the actual string is same, then that is called palindrome string. So how to reverse? This is very simple syntax, I have already explained. So if the original x is equal to the reverse of x, then it will return the value. So just go and apply this. Look at here, I'm going to apply. Let's see that. Are we getting the palindrome? Yes, only those elements are coming which are palindrome in my list. So this list can be very large. I'm taking only few things to clarify the concepts. Okay. So I hope the filter is also clear. Just do the practice with more data and more thing, then it will be more clear to all of you. Okay. Next function that I want to discuss is called the reduce. Reduce function is a part of a module that is called functools. So if you want to use the reduce in your application, first of all, you need to import. So what will you do? First of all, you will import here. So I'm going to import, okay, reduce. Okay, so here is a reduce, functools. So import functools, and you can use the reduce. So best way is to if you want to use only one function from a module, then we should write like from functools import only reduce. Okay, so now you can use reduce function in your code direct. How a reduce function works? So first understand this one. Suppose I have a list like 1 2 3 4 5, okay, and I want to add all the elements, and I want to give the result that what will be the addition, what will be the output of all the elements if I perform the summation. So how to do this? If I if I use uh, the traditional way, so what will I do? First of all, I'll take two values from the list and I will add and store somewhere, and then I will add the next value into the previous result, and after that I will add the next element into the previous result, and I will do the same for rest of the elements till I'm not get exhausted. Okay, means the list is not get exhausted. So reduce will return only one result, it will not return a list of the elements. So so just do this by using the reduce. So let's do this. Here I will call the reduce. Okay, I'm going to write the lambda. So lambda, as you can see here, first of all, it will take two values from your iterable object, your sequence. So I need to take two variable. Okay, and what I want to do, I want to perform the addition. Okay, x plus y. And here, on which data I want to perform? I want to perform on my list. So I will write here, that is my list. So just look at here, the output is 21. So if you add this, then you will get the addition of these values. Okay, and here you can perform anything. So if you want to perform the multiplication, then you can do this multiplication also. If you want to perform the division and anything, so you can do this by using the reduce function. A reduce function can also be used with one more module is here, that is called operator. Okay, let me import. So in operator, if you don't want to use this lambda expression to perform multiplication addition, so you can use the operators also. So if I write operator dot, so I can use add. Okay, so now look at here that it will give you the same output because in operator the add is already defined. In fact, if you want to apply the multiplication, so you can use the multiplication, MEUL. So that is the multiplication. As you can see here that we can perform the multiplication also on the list. So if you want to use the func to reduce with the operator, then you can use like this. So just do the practice, it will be more clear. One more thing I want to here before binding the session, I want to clarify one more thing that is related to the map function. I forgot to explain. For example, if I have a my list that is my list 1, okay, and here I have 1 2 3 data, and suppose if I have another list that is my list 2, it has also this one, and I want to perform the addition of both the elements 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, and 3 plus 3. So here I can write result as I have already explained. Result is equal, then I will write list, I will write the map function. After that I will write a lambda, then I will write x comma y and colon x plus y, and on which I want to apply this. I want to apply this on my list 1, comma my list 2, and let me print the result. So I will print the result. Look at here. So I have already explained this one in the previous just before the reduce and filter function. So just look at here, both lists having the same number of the elements. So is it required that if we are performing this kind of operation, then the both iterable should have the same number of the elements? So no, it is not mandatory. If you want, then it any list can have any number of the elements, so it doesn't matter. So how this operation will perform? So this map function will stop the execution as any one of them, any one of your iterable object gets exhausted. Means if any one of the list all the elements have been fetched. So just look at here. So you can have any number of the element in any list, any iterable objects. So I hope map, reduce, and filter is clear. Just do the practice. Add. It looks simple, but it is not as, because it is a new concept for you and you are going to implement in your code. So I hope the concepts are clear. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and share your views, share the videos, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.